to Sundial on WLRN. Well, there's an annual challenge that's been put up by Congress that promotes education in STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. There are district competitions all over the country, and the winner of 3 of the last 4 come from the Gulliver prep schools in Miami-Dade County. This year they won an app called KickStart, an app that helps students learn computer coding. And we're joined now by the class advisor, Dean Morrell. Dean, great to have you. Thank you so much for being here.
Pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. And one of the students is joining us, Jake Seymour. Jake, welcome, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Let's start with this. Dean, first describe this Congressional App Challenge, what it is, what it means for you, what it means for the students.
Well, basically, Louis, through House Resolution 77 back in 2013, the U.S. House of Representatives basically outlined a plan by which local representatives, House representatives, could host district-wide computer science programming competition.
And then for you guys, it was the former Congresswoman,
Ileana Ros-Lehtinen.
Correct.
And the idea behind it is basically to encourage students to learn programming skills in an effort to make them more marketable, more employable in this 21st century workforce.
Jake, how would you describe what the competition's like for you and your classmates? What does it mean to you?
I think it's a great opportunity. Whereas in other classes, you may just fill out a worksheet, have a teacher give a lecture. This is more of a hands-on activity where you're more so applying what you learned in the classroom and putting it into the real world. So we had the opportunity to create an online platform, KickStart, as you know, and then I'm excited to share with you everything about it.
No, definitely. We want to talk about how this works. Dean, your class, did I say that right? 3 times?
Yes.
You've won this?
Yes, it's been an honor to have been part of the winning team for the last 3 years.
So what sort of resources do you have right now at your disposal that you're able to provide all of this for the students?
One of the nice things, Louis, about this competition is that you don't have to pay any registration fees. You don't really need any fancy equipment, but you do need something that's very important. And this, I think, is the winning formula. You need to be able to engage students academically through real-world experiences. Like, for example, a partnership or service learning project.
Yeah.
When the student is passionate about something and you tap into that passion, they'll be able to create an app that, in my opinion, is an award-winning app.
Is this it's part of the class, part of the curriculum, or an
Yes.
extracurricular activity?
Okay, so one of the nice things about Gulliver schools is that teachers are constantly given the ability to tweak the curriculum in order to conform not only to education standards, but also to be able to embed in the curriculum things like the Congressional App Challenge, where we're constantly giving students opportunities to grow and to tap into that potential, that passion that will go into creating a really good app.
So Jake, real quickly, how many people are on the team? As of right now, we have 17 members, but we actually had 6 members sign the online platform. From the start, it was me who created the idea for the platform. I wanted to find a way to help out the community in a very meaningful way, some sort of well-researched problem that could be tackled, and then I found that computer science literacy was a perfect route to go.
Yeah, where did the inspiration come from? Was it a moment? Something hit you? I mean, how did you come across this?
Yes, actually, there was one moment, and it was during an event called the Hour of Code, and essentially in the Hour of Code, what they do is they have all students from schools all across America spend 1 hour in the classroom coding. And then I noticed that a lot of my classmates were interested in coding, but nobody asked the question, then what? Many of these students, especially in public schools who do the Hour of Code, they don't necessarily have the resources to follow through with their passion. So I sought to create an app that would not only teach them and help them have fun while doing what they love, but also give them vital 21st century workforce skills.
Where did you learn coding? How did you learn it?
Well, I learned coding, of course, in the middle school at Gulliver Academy. They have a very developed engineering program, and through that, I was able to develop the necessary skills. And then believe it or not, I actually learned most of my skills in coding while creating the app. So our app actually teaches students various coding languages, and we have different teams working on different aspects of the website So just by reviewing, creating curriculum, I was actually able to learn all these different coding languages and develop skills.
Yeah, I was looking through this through the website, and so you can pick a specific language. I'm going to sound like an absolute amateur because I don't know all these languages, but there are all these different types of languages that you can learn for coding, and you can just pick one, and there are all these videos that you can watch. That's how you set. Basically, you're setting it up so that, like, it's an online course.
That's exactly what it is. It's an online multimedia course. We have screencasts, which, if you don't know, they're videos online that we create ourselves as a team. We have formative assessments where we don't necessarily test them for a grade, but we more so see where the students lie, see if our curriculum's working, and if the students are actually gaining the information that we're giving to them.
Again, talking with Gulliver Prep Academy advisor Dean Morrell and student Jake Seymour, and they have this app. It's called KickStart. Recently won a Congressional App Challenge, and you know what? The students are going to go to D.C. in April to meet with representatives from Apple, Google, and a whole lot more, and that sounds really, really cool. You know what, Dean Morrell, when they bring the idea to you, how do you determine this is what we should follow up on, this is a good idea? How do you push them?
Louis, we have a wonderful array of instructors at Gulliver. We have business teachers, we have engineers, we have mathematicians, we have people that we bring in outside the confines of the classroom, and they come in and they listen to every single team that enters in the App Challenge. They listen to their pitch, and they're supposed to convince these experts of the validity of their idea and whether or not the idea should go forward. We give them constructive feedback. The key is to give them feedback constantly and early so that they could take a definitive direction and start coding and developing these skills. And in addition to these skills, they also develop how to be effective public speakers. Well, we help them develop their entrepreneurship skills, teamwork, collaboration. All of that goes into making a great app as well.
It almost sounded a little bit like kind of Shark Tank.
Yeah.
Right, Jake? You kind of have to sit there in front of this panel of judges and convince them?
Oh, yeah, multiple times. I mean, I have the elevator pitch by heart now. I think I've given it over 100 times.
All right, give it to me, please.
Okay.
Right now. What's the elevator pitch?
Okay, starting from the top. In the past decade, computer science has grown at an exponential rate, and as a result, the industry is growing and there's an increasing demand for jobs in the computer science market. So essentially what we're doing is we're targeting the industry by sort of making up for mistakes in the education system, whereas we're providing them with those necessary vital 21st century workforce skills by bringing students from underserved areas into the classroom and providing them with full-on courses in multiple coding languages that will hopefully make them employable beyond high school.
I'm sold. I'm on. I'm investing in that. You know what? Dean Morrell, it almost seems too like they have to learn sales skills.
Yes.
You got to learn how to sell yourself. You got to learn how to sell the idea.
Yes, and they have to do this. We have at Gulliver an engineering showcase every year. It's early in the fall. As many as 500 people attend, not only parents and other instructors and administrators, but people in the private sector. And the students have to present their idea in front of these 500 plus people. And it's a wonderful event. It ends up being a celebration of learning more than anything else.
Where is the app right now? Because, that's one of the other things, too, about developing an app is, well, there's the investment into it and building it out and then getting it out there for consumers. But where is the app right now? Where's KickStart?
Well, the platform resides at floridakickstart.org. And Jay can tell you a little bit more about his plan to actually push it out to different app stores.
Where is it, Jake? And what are you going to do?
Sure. So it's actually a web app, which means that you can access it on the internet. Once again, it's floridakickstart.org. If you type that in a search engine, it will come up and lead you to the page. But what we're doing also is we're actually working on an app. And through this app, we hope to release it on the App Store and on the Google Play Store in the future. So this will happen in the next few months.
And just to mention, too, we have it on our social media, so you can check it out at WLRN Sundial, so you can take a look at it. Again, I was starting to go through it. I feel like I'm learning something, and I don't know anything about this, but, that's kind of cool. You know what, Dean Morrell, I wondered is this now part of just regular curriculum? This is the world we live in, right? Where this is what you got to spend time teaching students, because they got to learn how to code. Computer's life.
In my opinion, yes, Louis. I think that the direction that academics is going is there's going to have to be a service learning component with it, a reflection piece, and you put service learning, meaningful community outreach.
Yeah.
You put the academic component, and you put meaningful reflection, put it all together, and that is going to be a typical future class.
I don't want to miss out on the opportunity to ask you how the other 2 times you've won, what's happened with those apps?
Okay, so the winner last year, Chromatilt, which is an app that helps people that are colorblind better able to differentiate between the colors red and green, that's in the Google Play Store. And the app before that one, Simple Sign, was in the App Store, but because the student has actually been working extremely hard in college, one of the things about app is that it's always a work in progress.
Yep.
So you need to find time to kind of dedicate yourself and be able to update the code many times during the year. So I spoke to the student, and she promises me that the app will be up and running very soon as well.
Jake, real quickly, you're going to get the opportunity to go to D.C. and meet with people from these big tech companies. What's that going to be like for you? How are you preparing for that?
Well, in the past month, we actually went to both Harvard and Yale because we were invited for a conference there. And they also had tech companies there looking at our pitches, meeting with us. And I believe that we're pretty much all warmed up and everything. There's not necessarily any preparation that needs to be done because we all have a personal connection with the project. And because of that connection, we're able to do this naturally.
What's your ultimate goal, man? What would be like the dream job for you?
My ultimate goal for this project would be...
No, just your life in general. What do you think you're going to, maybe one day you run Apple. I don't know, but I don't know. What's the dream?
Well, I'm very interested in technology, and I'm definitely looking into pursuing computer science in the future. So my hope is just to make an impact, whether it be community service, a business, and just spread it throughout the world in any way, shape, or form.
And you were telling me you have a goal for this. What's the goal for the app?
The goal for the app is to reach the largest audience possible. And it's not necessarily about numbers, it's about depth. So how can we affect all these members? And if we just change the life of one individual, we've done our job as a team.
Jake Seymour, student over at Gulliver Prep Academy. Again, he's part of the team that started this app. It's KickStart. We have information on our social media at WLRN Sundial, so you can check it out, see how it's set up to teach people about all these different coding languages. Also, we heard from the advisor, Dean Morrell, who's helped to build let me just say it, it's a sports analogy. You're building a dynasty. How about that? 3 out of the 4 you've won so far. Gentlemen, thank you so much. Congratulations, and best of luck to you moving forward.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Thank you so much. Still to come, we're going to learn about the upcoming ScreenDance Miami Festival, a film that looks at feminist dance in Cuba. That's coming up next here on Sundial.